Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Up Your Alley. It's a podcast with two best friends. That's me. My name is Taylor Edgar, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Jake Baggett. Say hi, Jake.
You got my name right. Thank you, buddy.
Did. Yeah. I don't know. We got a new recording software, so my headphones sound different. It's
Yeah,
a little
they do.
echoey.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but I just got to get used to it.
I think it sounds professional. I think it's how
Is
it's
this what
supposed to sound.
professional is supposed to sound like?
Yeah.
All right. I'll take your word
It's
for it.
definitely upgraded.
Anyway, in this podcast, we recommend things to each other, and we come back the next week to discuss them and give them a rating between 1 and 3, depending on how much it is up our individual alleys. Right now, I am winning by 1 point. Jacob's 54 to my astonishing 55 points. Still going strong with the lead. This week, we are talking about the 2023 Netflix documentary Arnold, about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and also Jake's recommendation for me, the 2013 film Under the Skin.
Yeah.
Directed by Jonathan Glazer and written by him and Walter Campbell. So we're going to get into those. First, we're going to get into what we've been doing. How are you, Jake?
That's been all right, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. No complaints.
Still playing Final Fantasy, what are we at? 16, right?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Getting pretty deep in the weeds on that game.
Yeah.
I think I'm almost about to beat it. Everything's getting kind of sad. And I think that's what happens in the stories of Final Fantasy.
That's not
I think
good.
everything just gets really sad.
So I remember we had a conversation about it that got deleted, hence the new recording equipment. And since then, I watched a YouTube thing by a YouTuber that you and I both watched, Gerard Khalil, the completionist.
Yeah.
And he's talking about it, so he gives his kind of non-spoilery review.
Yeah.
And that made me a lot more interested in the game.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I think I might check that out.
I think you'd like it.
So
yeah.
It's not turn-based.
No, it's straight up action game.
And story's good.
I enjoy the story. Final Fantasy goes off the rails with their stories. It goes crazy.
I've heard. I've never played one all the way through.
But the characters are great, and just the action's really fun. And it being so over the top, it's really, the boss battles are crazy over the top.
Nice.
I love that stuff.
Is it, and one thing that I've learned recently is like tapping into why I like certain games and don't. Is it fun to get good at that game?
Yeah. When you get all these different abilities and you set them up the way that you like them, the ones that you use, and when you get
I'm into that.
just this perfect chain of moves that you do, because when you're fighting like a boss, they go into a stagger where they take more damage, and then you just unleash all your moves at once, and when you get that, and it says, you did 61,000 damage, and you're like, yes!
Arbitrary number, but it's still fun. But I think that's why I never really got into fighting games.
Yeah.
Because it's not fun to get fun at fighting games. Because if you're playing with your friend, and you're really good at it, then you're just starting physical fights with your friends. And it's not fun to play online. It's short little bursts of things. And I'm not huge into sports games either, I think, for the same reason. And I will say what you were saying about the boss battles and everything. I just finished the campaign in Diablo 4.
Yeah.
My first Diablo game, my first whatever type of game you would call that.
Yeah. ARPG.
Yeah.
I think.
So, loved it.
Great.
Loved it. I went deep into the wiki, reading the lore, and then reading all these different builds, watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you're just, clicking a button to spam an attack and everything like that. But it's really fun to get good at that game.
Yeah.
And it's just waves of really unnecessarily gory and detailed enemies.
My gosh. They've always been gory. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the Mortal Kombat fatalities. I think now they can really do what they've been wanting to do since the 90s.
They're kind of getting, since the characters look so real, it feels, awful.
Yeah, I think Mortal Kombat... Have you seen the trailer for the new Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're really treading that uncanny valley where it's we want this to be fun. We don't want this to look like a snuff film.
Yeah.
Where it's just horrible,
it's kind of
Eli Roth torture porn.
I love... gory stuff. That's my bread and butter. But this stuff is oh my goodness.
A little over the top.
It's Johnny Cage is just an actor.
He's just some guy.
And you're just ripping his eyeballs out.
He knows how to shadow kick, but still.
Oh my God. Horrible.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to play Mortal Kombat. I do fighting games. But I can only play them for just a little while. It's like you said, some people just get really, really good at it with one of their characters, and
I'm not even that big of a Smash Brothers guy. Like, I like Smash Brothers. I played Smash probably the most for the 64, less for the GameCube. I'm sure there are a couple of them that I like for the Wii U. I never played that one. The Wii? No, there was one for the Wii U as well, wasn't there?
Maybe. The Wii U and the 3DS, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I have the one for the Switch, but I can't tell you the last time I played it.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I have it too. It's a lot more fun with friends.
Yeah, it must be. There's some great memories in middle school and high school playing on 64.
Yeah, right.
Late nights.
Especially when you have like all 4 characters going.
Who's your go-to?
It's usually Link.
Link?
Yeah.
I liked Link and Star Fox in 64, and then in the GameCube one, you got Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I've been a big Dr. Mario
And
guy.
also Snake's in it, so Snake.
Yeah.
I always have to be Snake.
You got to go for that, don't you?
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you also. I don't know if you're familiar, and it doesn't mean anything because awards aren't real, but did you see the Emmys?
No.
Were released, all their nominations?
Oh, I saw that Tim Robinson is nominated.
Yeah.
So that's pretty great.
So that's something that we talked about, and we both love that. Obviously, he should get nominated. He should win.
I would love it if he won.
But also, something from a previous episode, James Marsden got nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Jury Duty.
Oh, that's great.
Something we talked about. I'm like, I don't know if, I think we said in the episode, I don't know if he can get nominated for this, but he should get nominated for something.
That's wonderful. He definitely deserves a nod.
Absolutely, man.
I don't think you could choose any other celebrity to be in that role. You know what I mean?
It's perfect fit.
If Steve Buscemi was in there, you'd be like, this is a fucking bit.
It's like
but you see James Marsden, you're like,
that's the guy from Sonic?
That's James Marsden.
It's one of those things where it worked out perfectly. Like, being John Malkovich, I don't think would have worked.
Yeah, with anybody
but John Malkovich.
Exactly. Because they even play it. It's like, even in that movie, there's like, I loved you in that Diamond Heist movie. And he's like, I was never in a Diamond Heist movie. He's like, no, you were.
Also, my favorite from the Emmy nominations, something that you have been dead set on not watching.
What's that?
Nominated for Best Drama Series was Andor.
Andor?
Andor.
Oh, wow. Good for them.
Good for Star Wars.
Good for Star Wars. You know what? At least they're trying.
They are. They're trying pretty hard.
It's important that they tried.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not going to win, though, because it's up against the final season of Better Call Saul and the final season of Succession.
Yeah, everybody's crazy about that show. I have no idea what it is. And The Last of Us. So it's like, Andor's not going to win. But I mean, Disney's going to pull some strings and get them.
They've got enough of theirs. You see the actors are on strike now, too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that so funny?
I think it's great.
The WGA is out, and then SAG-AFTRA is out.
I think
they're like, okay, we don't have any actors, we don't have any writers, but we have AI.
Right.
We can do this.
I mean, I feel bad for people that, need to strike because they're not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
But I think this is good for one movie and just one movie.
What movie?
Deadpool 3.
Well,
Deadpool 3 is mostly filming, and there are pictures leaked on the set of like Hugh Jackman in the yellow suit and everything like that.
Looks great.
But there was something going around. It's like, so they can't have any writing on the day, which is a highly improvised movie. People pitching ideas, but because the writers were on strike, they couldn't do anything. Now that the actors are on strike too, they could shut the whole thing down and wait. Because I think like Ryan Reynolds is a member of the Actors Guild.
Yeah.
Or the Actors Guild, obviously, but he's also in the Writers Guild.
Oh.
And so it's like, even though he co-writes the movies, he can't contribute to the script
at
all, because technically as a writer, he was on strike. It's the same thing when they did the strike like 2008, whatever.
Yeah.
Jon Stewart could go on the TV, but he had to just ramble it off the top of his head. He couldn't have a script. So I think
wild.
Specifically for Deadpool 3, this is a good thing.
I don't think this sounds good for Deadpool 3.
I think Deadpool 3 is going to be great.
I think you're going to have to rely on Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
Doing a little improv.
Are you saying you can't rely on Hugh Jackman? But I'm saying now that everything's shut down, they'll stop the movie until the writers are back.
Good.
Because the actors aren't going to go back unless the writers go back.
That's great.
So when they resume
that's a
filming,
savior for Deadpool 3.
Yes.
I see what you're saying now.
Good news specifically for Deadpool 3.
For fans of Deadpool,
It made like over $1 billion for a rated R movie.
Yeah. The first and second one were fun movies. I enjoyed them.
Yeah. Jury Duty also got nominated for comedy series.
That was great.
Along with a bunch of shows that you don't watch.
You watch, but I don't?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Marvelous Miss Maisel, The Bear.
No.
Ted Lasso.
No.
Yeah. Barry got nominated.
I gotta get back into that show.
And Abbott Elementary, which I've heard great things about, but I've never seen.
My Twitter always has something about them.
Yeah.
All the time.
I honestly don't know where to watch it.
I don't know what it is.
There's too many streamings. Speaking of too many streamings, let's talk about streaming things.
Yeah.
Because
we both streamed our recommendations.
Yeah. So let's go with your pick first.
Yeah. Sure.
You recommended to me the 2023 film Under the Skin.
The Scarlett Johansson vehicle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you gave me a Scarlett Johansson movie in Lucy.
So 2 weeks ago, the Lost episode, we talked about the Scarlett Johansson film Lucy.
Yeah.
Directed and written by Luc Besson, which was kind of, a director, I would say a passion piece probably for Luc Besson. He really wanted to make it, and he made the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie, and Jake did not like it. But something clicked in his head when I was explaining why I liked Lucy.
Yeah.
And he said, you should watch Under the Skin.
Yeah.
Your next recommendation is Under the Skin. With the caveat of don't read anything about it.
Yeah.
Don't watch a trailer.
Don't
even look at the description when you click on it for streaming.
Yeah. Try and get as little information as possible. I think that makes it a little more whimsical.
Which I did. It's available to stream on Max. I went into it cold.
Nice.
I think when we recorded the episode last Friday with our friend Chris, and thanks again to Chris for coming out and
Chris,
doing an episode with us and writing us emails. You can write us emails at upyouralleypod@gmail.com. And I had to ask you what the movie was called because I forgot already what it was called. Went in and saw it.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's a movie.
It's a hell of a movie.
It's a movie. Jake, why don't you give a little background of this movie, how you came across it, why you recommended it, and without getting too spoiler heavy, give like a basic synopsis of this movie.
Right.
If you, I don't even know if you can.
Oh yeah, definitely. Without spoiling.
Go for it.
Oh, without spoiling anything.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's not really a spoiler. The aspect that I want people to just like uncover while they're watching the movie. I think it's just more fun to be
there's lots to uncover.
Oh, this is wonderful. And the way I found it was I was visiting my dad, and he just he handed me the DVD of Under the Skin, and he said, don't read the back of it. He's like, just go home and watch it. He's like, and I was like, he's like, I love this movie. And I was like, okay.
No.
So I popped it in, and I watched it, and I was like, I love this movie. Like, that was really cool. So it was just Scarlett Johansson, and she's basically driving around Scotland, picking people up, and then, like, basically killing them. Yeah.
I wouldn't say basically.
Absolutely
she's killing them.
Yeah. And it's just, there you go.
Yep.
There's your movie. And then she realizes she doesn't want to do that anymore.
Yes.
And she wants to try out what it's like to be a normal person.
Or just a person.
Boom. No spoilers.
All right.
Yeah, I like them apples.
So if you just had that summary,
yeah,
I think you should watch the first 14 minutes of the movie, which I think no words are said.
Yeah, no, it's a slow burn of a movie.
And also, when words are said, they're not intelligible because these aren't Hollywood Scottish accents.
No.
These are Scottish accents.
They said Scar just drove around Scotland and talked to random people. Yeah. So that's like sometimes random people.
I had to put on subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
It was not ideal.
The subtitles are even like just jargon that they're saying.
Exactly. It is with like the local slang and everything like that. And even if you're reading it, it still didn't super duper make sense, but you got the gist of it. So Scarlett Johansson's driving around. It starts out with a motorcycle dude.
Yeah.
Like not like biker Hell's Angels motorcycle dude.
No, like
motorcycle dude,
race
like
car road,
crotch
rockets. Yeah, there we are.
And kills a lady. She throws her in the back of a truck or a panel van.
Yeah,
a real free candy.
See, I don't think he killed her. I think she.
He has a
died.
He has a body.
Yeah.
Puts it in the back of the van. Scarlett Johansson's there. It's the all white.
But she didn't die either.
Because you see her crying.
Yeah, it's like the Matrix type place.
Yeah, it's what happens at the end of Lucy as well.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson loves a white boy. And so she's like, it's very weirdly shot. It reminded me a lot of It Follows, which was one of the first things you recommended me. Is that an A24 thing? A24 does a lot.
I think so.
Yeah, it's one of those indie.
I know Under the Skin is A24.
Yeah, I didn't know if It Follows was, but it kind of had that same vibe where it was just an uncomfortable movie. Scarlett Johansson takes this girl's clothes, puts them on, and then she,
and then she leaves and starts driving around.
Nothing is explained. There's no narrator. There's no voiceover. There's no Morgan Freeman telling you that we only use 10% of our
look
brains.
at her. She's using 50% of her clothing right now.
So this movie is like the opposite.
Exact
of
opposite,
Lucy.
isn't it? Isn't this crazy that it's Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I will say this.
Yeah. Go ahead.
This movie's a 1 from me.
Oh, boy.
It's 100% a 1.
Isn't that funny?
Yes.
You gave me,
Lucy
this is my 3. You give it a 1. Lucy was your 3. I gave it a 1.
So I only say it's a 1 so I could talk to it in context with Lucy, which is, I wish we had planned this out better and we had done both of these, and this could have been
that
one
would
long
have been
episode.
great. Yeah.
So, well, kind of. We talked about Lucy a little bit last week, and we'll talk about Lucy a little bit in context.
We're just going to keep talking about Lucy every week.
Yeah, why not? It's going to be the new Stardew Valley. We just bring it up all the time. So Lucy is so heavy on explanation.
Yeah.
Lucy is a real tell, don't show.
Yeah. To the point where it was aggravating to me.
See, this aggravated me because I was like, what the fuck is happening?
And
right
I
now?
like that feeling very much so.
I
like that because I was engaged.
So much.
I wasn't bored. I was like, what is happening?
Right.
Like the whole time.
So ScarJo's in the Matrix room, and then she's driving around in the van. Motorcycle guy fucks off, does motorcycle stuff.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I don't think he says a word the whole movie.
No.
Motorcycle guy.
He looks at Scarlett Johansson and then he drives away.
Yes. And so then she picks up a dude. She's like, hey, you want to come back with me? Scarlett Johansson. Dude says yes.
Yeah.
They go into the opposite of the Matrix room, an all-black room.
Yeah.
And Scarlett Johansson's walking away and starts taking clothes off.
Yeah.
And then he starts taking his clothes off. Doesn't mention, it's pitch black in here.
Yeah.
And the floor is a mirror for some reason.
Yeah.
And then he starts to sink, and then his head
like it's
goes
in a
under.
pool. Yeah.
And Scarlett Johansson turns around, and then
Picks up her clothes, goes right back outside.
no more explanation.
Yeah.
You don't get...
You have to infer what's going on until like a half hour in. 45
Okay, so this is like
maybe.
an hour and 40-minute movie.
Yeah.
I would say longer than that.
Yeah. Probably.
So it does that like 2 more times, 2 more guys, and then it's just more and more like a guy goes underwater or sinks into the floor.
Yeah.
He's in like this void, and then you see another body that's in there too. It's like bloated like a body that had been in there. It starts moving around a little bit, and then it just decompresses in this weird body horror jump scare.
Yeah.
Which I was not
Like a
fan
deflated
of.
balloon.
I was down here in this basement by myself. I didn't need that right then. It was bad. So, and then there's like a red goo, and then it shoots it out. So you're like, all right, I'm kind of piecing together. She's killing them for a reason. She's not just killing people to kill people.
She's getting their skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking gross.
That was crazy.
And then she goes and picks up a guy. The guy is deformed.
Yes.
And I can say that because his character is
It
on the
looks like-
IMDb as deformed man.
Yeah, it looks like elephantitis or something like that.
It's fibromyalgia, I believe.
Really?
Is the condition. Yeah.
Wow.
And the guy that has the condition, he's an actor who actually has that condition.
Yeah.
It wasn't like prosthetic makeup. And that guy does a lot of charity work, and he was great in this.
Yeah, he's good.
So she picks him up, and he's late at night, walking with a hood up, everything like that. You get the impression he's going to the store late at night because he doesn't want people staring at him. You really, really feel for this guy.
Yeah.
And that's when
You could see how he's uncomfortable talking to people. He doesn't do it that often, especially a pretty girl like Scarlett Johansson, and she's saying things like, "Don't you find me
not
pretty?"
just a pretty girl.
Yeah.
The prettiest. Like,
this is ScarJo at her top.
this is, I don't think she's left.
No, at all. But this is where it's like,
Yeah. So, like, that's when you kind of turn on her. And also before that, she
was bad the whole time.
She was bad because there was like a dude at a beach, and then he was a surfer dude, and then
she was trying to pick up the surfer dude.
she's trying to pick up the surfer dude. There's a couple with a baby.
Yeah.
The wife gets taken out, so the husband runs in full clothes, which you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
To try to save his wife. Surfer dude says, "Oh shit." He goes and gets the husband, pulls the husband back because you can't save the wife; she's underwater.
Yeah.
And then husband goes back out,
Yep.
and
That husband's
husband dies as
Gone.
well, and then there's just a baby on the beach.
Just crying.
Scarlett Johansson takes a rock and knocks out Surfer Dude.
Yep.
Takes him back, goos him, does whatever. And then Motorcycle Man comes back to get ScarJo's clothes.
Yep.
Leaves the baby just on the beach. So you're
Of
like, these
course.
are horrible, horrible people.
Yeah.
So then flashback to the deformed guy, and you're like, oh shit, ScarJo's gonna kill this guy.
Yeah.
But she doesn't.
No. Because her whole thing was collecting skin. And the only
Right.
reason that she picked this dude up is because he has weird skin.
Yeah.
You know? So she was like really curious about them. So when she even gets him to the house that she takes him to, she's
goo room.
Yeah. She's like, I can't do this. So she releases him naked into the field like you do with so many dogs.
So he's just running around.
So he's just running naked
through the Scottish Highlands.
and she just runs away, you know. So she's like done with whatever she's been doing, and now she's like
driving through the fog.
driving through the fog, and then she just stops, and then she just gets out of the van and runs away.
So before we get into how this movie ends, because it takes a turn,
Yeah,
if it hasn't already, at what point into this movie watching it, we've done the first 2 acts basically. We did the setup, and then we did her turning. When were you like, I'm on board with this?
I was on board at the beginning,
From the jump?
from the jump, from when the lady was on the floor in the white void, and you could see her crying, and she's just not moving, and
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson's just stone-faced, just putting on her clothes,
Yeah.
and just leaving.
Being very creepy.
Yes.
Great performance
I was
by
like,
ScarJo.
yeah, wonderful
Yeah.
performance. So I was just like, wow, like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
And then the whole time, I'm just waiting to find out what's happening. And I would say once, right after the van thing, when she goes to eat chocolate cake, that's when it popped into my head. It's like, oh, I know exactly what's happening.
Okay, so then she goes to this little town. And I'll say this. At this point in the movie, I was so done with this movie. Because I guess you just have that inquisitive
Patience?
thing. Well, no, not patience. I can be patient with something. But you have that inquisitive thing where you're like, I want to know what happens. Because knowing what happens would, give me some form
Yeah.
of satisfaction or whatever. I have this thing that's like, why did you get me down this road?
Yeah.
Now it's going to fucking bug me. You've put this burden on me of me not knowing what's happening. Now I have to know. I don't want to. And I'm going to be mad at you at the end of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're welcome, bud.
I know. I was so upset with you, but you were upset with Lucy. So
It was tit for tat.
it was a little tit and tat going on. So she goes to this town, goes to like a little idyllic, countryside cafe type thing, orders a piece of chocolate cake. She takes a bite of the chocolate cake. She just goes, "Bah,"
Immediately throws it back up.
like a cat.
Yeah.
It was a very unnatural way to throw up cake.
Yeah.
And there's like a family watching her, and that's, I guess, when you're supposed to be like, oh.
That was it for me.
Because
I was like,
up to this, you were just like, is it some kind of like cult thing?
Yeah.
Is like she a demon or
yeah, so it's a
something
monster
like that?
situation.
Yeah.
Is she appeasing a monster
Right.
type thing? Mhm.
I mean, I like some weird monster twist in movies, like what is it, Cabin in the Woods, at the end where there's just like fucking elder gods and shit,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, fun movie.
ScarJo fucking throws up chocolate cake. I'm just like, another thing? There's another thing? I thought she was just running away from the motorcycle man.
So when did you piece it together, what the thing is for ScarJo? Do you remember when
can
it
I tell you?
clicked?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, yeah.
I still don't think I have pieced it together.
Really?
And we'll talk about it.
Okay.
So then she meets a guy. Guy's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
She goes in. They start getting intimate. She had been taking off her clothes in front of these guys, and then they just go down into the floor and
Yeah.
get, red gooed out.
Yeah.
And they actually get a little intimate. And clearly, like, when that starts happening, like that
Yeah.
physical act, she's like, what the hell is happening? So it's just, at that point, I'm just like, okay. Is she? I thought at this point she was a robot.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking like maybe she's a robot and they're just grinding up people. It's a Soylent Green. They're Soylent Green in these people, and they're just like, that's why motorcycle guy doesn't talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's a robot. He's Terminator again. So, and then they go on a little hike together. He like carries her across a puddle. It's all very sweet.
Yeah.
And then she pisses off into the woods. Sees this dude. The dude's like, oh, it's slippery outside. Guys, immediately looks creepy as hell.
Yeah.
She falls asleep in like some like stone hut
Yeah.
Which I read up on. That's a thing in Scotland.
Yeah.
They have just like places where it's like, hey, if you're out hiking in the Highlands and you get lost, just, it's like someone comes
Stay
here
here.
every 3 days. Here's enough food and water to last you, 3 days. And I was like, that's fucking
great.
Great thing to
Yeah, they're
have.
like, if it's getting too cold out there, you could just shelter in here
and it's
until
like
somebody
something
comes.
that they have set up in the neighborhoods. It's like once every 3 days, someone will come by here with
That's
a truck and drive you to wherever you need to go.
Yeah, that's great.
And dude, assaults her. She runs away. He comes back.
Yep, chases her,
grabs at her, and rips the back half of her skin off.
Yeah.
Full spoilers for Under the Skin, by the way. And he starts freaking out, and then she kind of turns around, face like half off, and then she's just like she's got
her face, Scarlett Johansson's face.
It's
in her
Scarlett
hands.
Johansson's face, but it's all like blacked out.
Yeah.
Like it looks like a night sky. It's like reflective, shiny goo person.
Looks wild. I love it.
Looks very disturbing.
Yeah.
And then the dude comes back, throws gasoline on her, sets her on fire, runs away.
Yeah. That guy was,
At one point, after that guy did that, I was just like, that's a bit of an overshot. You could have just kept running away.
Yeah.
If I saw a horrifying monster, I would run away.
Yeah.
I was like, that checks a box. And then I wouldn't say, let me go back with gasoline and fire.
Yeah.
Because this will probably make things
following me.
No, 100%. You just keep running away, especially because you had to get that gasoline out of the truck. Just get in the truck and leave. You don't have to go back and slay this dragon that you've just discovered.
He was like, this thing's gonna follow me. This thing's gonna try and hurt me.
You would have got full Tim Robinson. That's real. Monsters live with us on the earth. And it ends with her just dying.
Yep.
And Motorcycle Man like looking for her. And then credits.
Yep. So you don't know what she was?
It's some kind of alien, I'm guessing.
Yeah, she's an alien.
Okay.
They take people's skin and put them on.
But they don't. How do you know that?
How do you know that? Because they show you that they suck out everything from them and leave the skin behind. They throw away all the insides.
So that's what the red goo was.
Yeah, the red goo was their insides.
I thought they were feeding something.
No.
So they show you this. They never
like
tell you
garbage
this.
chute. Yeah, they don't tell you any of this stuff.
Okay.
You have to infer. Yeah.
No, Lucy.
And that's why when they were doing the intimate thing.
And Lucy explained itself to you. Morgan Freeman, for fuck's sake, explained things to you.
So, Under the Skin, when she's doing the intimate thing with the guy, he rips her skin down there. And that's what freaks her out. That's why she pushes him aside and takes a lamp up to her privates. And she's like, what the heck happened down here?
Yeah.
Because it's ripped now. She's like, uh-oh.
But why are they here?
It doesn't matter. They're
and
here.
I'm guessing Motorcycle Guy and those two other motorcycle guys.
Those are the
aliens?
guys that want the skin. They have ScarJo go out there.
So she was getting
the
skin for them.
Yes.
See, but it never
It's
showed
a sex
like
trafficking type thing.
It never showed like
Them putting
one
the
dude,
skin on.
and then like that dude looks like the dude they killed.
No.
Because he's always wearing a fucking motorcycle helmet.
Yeah.
See, one scene like that, and I probably would have got it. I'm not a dumb man.
No, you're not. Not at all.
I'm not a dumb man.
And
but
we have like theory talks and stuff.
who's we?
Me and you.
Oh, I thought you meant like the community of Under the Skin.
Yeah, me and the Under the Skin.
I was going to say skinheads. But that's a different... Me and the skinheads.
Me and the skinheads. We like to talk about this
Different
stuff.
thing.
So, it's fun to infer all this stuff. I really enjoyed it because it's the undercurrent. Like, it's the sex trafficking type of idea. They're using her body to get men to...
Get their skin.
Take advantage of them.
And kill them.
Yeah, and they don't have any respect for her either.
Right.
You know, she's basically like a prisoner to
So
them.
it's an allegory like that.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, right?
See, why can't there just be like something at the end and be like, this is what it meant? And then I just would have read it and be like...
Morgan Freeman comes out and is like, that's what happens to an alien.
I would have loved it. If it was like... It was like Aesop. If it like popped up at the end and the moral of the story is, I'd be like, I get it. Okay.
Because I might be wrong about the sex trafficking thing. But
I don't think so. It makes sense.
Yeah, but I saw the, parallelisms of something like this where you just... Because mostly what Scarlett Johansson says throughout this whole movie is like, am I pretty? Yeah, don't you think I'm pretty? And she's just trying to get men. I think that's why she stops talking, like, in the latter half, because she doesn't know anything other than...
What else to say?
enticing things towards herself.
Yeah, because even when she was like on fire, she doesn't like scream or anything.
No, she doesn't scream when she
That's why I
talks to
thought
the guy
robot.
because the nice guy was like, do you need help? You know, she just wasn't talking to anybody, and then she just finally says yes. You know,
Yeah.
and she was like, wow, she's like really going through something,
Yeah.
and she was. So, she was like getting out of the game, but then they
Game
drag
pulls
her
her
back
back in.
over and reveal that she is this horrid thing, and then they killed the shit out of her.
One guy did.
Yeah.
The other guy was nice.
Yeah, one guy was really nice.
Yeah. All right, it's a 1. For a spite pick, I respect you for doing it.
Yeah, I'm happy you watched it, bud. I knew that this was going to be one that I was pushing.
I don't even remember this movie coming out, but
2013.
yeah,
Hey,
no idea.
I
But
didn't know when it
yeah.
came out either. My dad was just like, "Watch it."
I'm glad you did the same thing to me, but
I'm happy you did it like that too, man.
yeah,
That's great.
I don't think I liked It Follows either. I think I gave It Follows a 2.
I think you gave it a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love that movie. Absolutely.
But I wouldn't even say this is like a horror movie.
No, I wouldn't call this a horror movie.
It's like some sci-fi fever dream.
Maybe a sci-fi. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Slow
great.
burn, slow burn.
Watch Lucy. They're both available on Max.
Watch Lucy, then watch Under the Skin, and then email us. Tell us which Scarlett Johansson movie is better.
We'll get 2 TVs.
One
get
of
them both
them
streaming at the same time.
Has a naked Scarlett Johansson.
That's fair.
So,
Fair point.
yeah. How do you like them apples?
Well, I wouldn't objectify her like that and say that's
I
the
will
reason to watch that. I like her for
absolutely
her
do
brain,
it,
which is
especially
Lucy.
when
Maybe
the
I like
movie-
her for her brain, and you like her for her skin.
How dare you?
No, I'm a good person. I'm not some dummy that needs Morgan Freeman to explain things to me. All right, let's get into
That's
the next
great.
thing we're talking about,
Yeah.
which is the 2023 Netflix documentary series Arnold,
Yeah.
about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
3 episode.
3 episodes broken down
Documentary.
to the athlete, the actor, and the American.
Oh. Is
Yeah.
that what they're called?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Dude, okay. So here's why I recommended this to Jacob.
Yeah.
1, I love a good documentary series. I'm a sucker for it. I think
Yeah,
a
you do.
3-part, hour-apiece documentary series, best way to do it. If it was a 1 3-hour documentary, I wouldn't want it.
Yeah.
And that's the formula. Don't give me 6 hours of documentary. Don't give me 10 unless you're Ken Burns and you're watching baseball stuff. I love that.
Man.
But it's a perfect amount for a documentary, and it's split up beautifully. I didn't know much about Arnold Schwarzenegger going into this.
Oh yeah?
I mean, I know him as the actor. I know he had a child out of wedlock. I know he was a governor of California, but like his personal life, and I didn't really know anything about the bodybuilding stuff either.
You haven't seen Pumping Iron?
No.
Wow.
So as, not a gym rat, I didn't know him.
I was a
as
huge Schwarzenegger fan.
the bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I was a fan of the movies and everything.
Yeah.
So the first hour of it it's all him just being a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Coming from,
Austria.
yeah, small town in Austria.
Yeah.
Coming to America and starts bodybuilding. And I was like, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I recommended it to you after I had watched the first 2. And I was like, I want Jake's opinion because I know you hate self-aggrandizing celebrity puff pieces.
Yeah.
I know you don't like it.
Yeah.
I know you like it when it's done with the kayfabe, like the Wrestling with Shadows.
Yeah. Okay.
But I know that you get turned off a lot by people like just making I mean, obviously he's an actor, he's the main character, but
Yeah.
making a documentary about themselves. I think it came up
Yeah.
a little bit when we talked about the Facing Nolan documentary.
Yes.
That's what it kind of
Yeah.
reminded me
It was
of.
It was puffing Nolan up, you know, a
and
whole
it was
bunch.
then you look and it's like
And
produced
it's
by
for-
Nolan Ryan's grandkids
Yeah.
and all this stuff.
And if you're a Nolan Ryan fan, you know, you're gonna love that thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so you got those vibes not knowing Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
I knew you knew Schwarzenegger. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I was wondering if you would get the same kind of vibes from someone you actually like.
I loved it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're in. So it's a 3.
Yeah. It's great. I have one more episode to watch. I have to watch The American.
Okay.
But the first episode is when I got that this is more like an autobiography that he wanted to put out instead of writing a book. He was like, let me just do it here. And then
Are you going to do the voice the whole time?
no, that is it.
It was not bad.
Oh, thanks, bud.
The impressions are good.
Thanks, buddy. And
Wait. I have something for this.
Perfect.
Soundboard.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. The perfect timing is do the thing, wait 10 seconds, say, oh, hold on, I have something for this, and then do the thing. That's more of a...
We're just going to kill ourselves with these. This is pretty good sound effects, dude.
I gotta tell you, it's a solid investment that I've made. I have no regrets.
So it's, he didn't want to write a book about his life, but he wanted to get something down about his life. So he did it the way that he knew he would want to, he knew he'd be comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
And so he made a documentary about himself. Mm-hmm. And I think the first episode captures what it's like. He's not building himself up because he was the number one bodybuilder in the world, right, for like decades, I think.
Yeah, at least 5 years. I think he got
5 years, I think, maybe
5 years that he was like the reigning champion.
Yeah, Mr. Olympia.
He was Mr. Universe from 67, 68, 69, 70, and Mr. Olympia from 1969, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, and 80.
Damn. See? And it's just, and like hearing why he did that stuff, he's like, I fell in love with bodybuilding, and then I was number one in Austria. It was like, but I want to be number one in the world, and if you want to be number one in the world, go to America. And he's like, so I go to America, and I get second place. And I'm like, this is bullshit. Yeah. He's like, and then I worked really hard, and then I got first place. Yeah. And then I went up against my idol that I would look at in magazines and fawn over, and then I beat him. And you're like, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he just talks about how much, but he also talked about like how somber it is for him too, because he would talk about how he would turn off a lot of his emotions if they were getting in the way of his bodybuilding. And that was pretty revealing,
Almost like he was a robot sent to do one thing.
Yeah.
With no other emotions.
That was one of my favorite parts. Watching the actor part was James Cameron talking, and he's like, Arnold comes up to me and he says, it says, I'll be back. He said, shouldn't it say, I will be back because I'm a machine and that's more machine-like? And he's like, let me do the fucking writing, Arnold.
My favorite part of the James Cameron telling Terminator stories was when they said that the Terminator was supposed to be played by O.J. Simpson, but they didn't want to use him because no one would believe he was a killer.
The entire production team laughs.
Arnold just has his own little laugh. He's like, that's funny. Two people are dead.
Yeah. To make that great joke.
Was it worth it? Not saying it's not.
Fuck O.J.
So going back to his childhood, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, he's from Austria. And then he was like, he was born, what year was he born?
His father was in World War II.
Yeah, he was born in,
and they came back defeated.
He was born in 1947, so he was born right after the war.
Yeah.
He did say, really glanced over it, like, my father fought in the war. It's like, your dad was a Nazi.
Who did he fight for?
Yeah,
Arnold?
He says, my father fought in the war, and like so many men, he came home having lost the war. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, the bad guys lost that war. Which German-speaking people that lost World War II did your father fight for?
See, and that's the thing. You can't, because we're just focused on that for the rest of the documentary. If he was like he was a Nazi.
Here's a picture of him in Nazi uniform. And obviously, Nazis, horrible, horrible people. But I think it says a lot about Arnold Schwarzenegger. And one of the great things about this is the things with him talking. You get the immediate impression that not only is he a smart guy, he's lived an incredible life. He's a very empathetic person too, which is something that people talk about, even like his bodybuilding friends and everything like that. They say that he's just a nice, caring person. Yeah. That if you're his friend, you're his friend, and like, he'll be there for you.
I heard another story that says like he does not forget people when he meets them. He'll see you 10 years later.
Politician thing.
Yeah. He'll see you 10 years later and he'll be like, "Oh my god, I missed you." Yeah. That was it. That's it. That's all I'm doing. There's two, and I'm done.
But him talking about his father, just, obviously 75 years on, he could be like, oh, yeah, my father, was forced to do this stuff because there was conscription in the German army. Yeah. When you start losing the war, you make everyone fight. So he had to go fight a war and then lost the war. All of his, generation of men all had this horrible thing, and then he's like, yeah, my dad was a drunk and he hit us and everything like that. And it's like, God damn it, you're really making a case for Nazis not being great dads.
Big surprise.
But
he
was a horrible childhood from the sound of it, and then he just started lifting weights.
He's like, he just fell in love with weightlifting. And I don't know why. He said that he looked great. And I like that he brought up that it's like art to him. He's like, I'm saying something with my body, and I need to perfect it, and that's what I'm doing. I'm like, that's a great way to approach it, man.
God damn it, he fucking nailed it. You see those pictures of him from back in the day?
Sheesh.
He's
that
one
stuff
of those
makes
people
me so uncomfortable.
Where it's just like,
or you can see the ripples in the muscle. I'm like, oh my God.
Very vascular.
Yeah, you're going to pop out of your skin.
Doesn't look good.
She's going to need Scarlett Johansson to get her more skin.
No. No, Under the Skin's not going to be a frame of reference for this podcast that we keep bringing back.
I want to keep bringing up Under the Skin.
Don't. But I really liked the interviews with him. And then after he wins all of his bodybuilding titles, the fact that he's just like, yeah, I'm going to be an actor.
Yeah, I want to go into acting.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
And he does.
Yeah.
And he has hit after hit after hit after hit.
They shove twins down your fucking throat as like a great movie. It is not a great movie.
I don't think I've seen Twins. I think I've seen Junior, but not Twins.
I've seen Junior. Junior is fun. I've seen Twins. Twins is kind of nagging. It's not great.
I do love Danny DeVito, though.
I love Danny DeVito. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I think his comedic stuff is good, too. In Kindergarten Cop, I thought he was great.
What's your first Arnold movie that you remember seeing?
Probably Kindergarten Cop.
Kindergarten Cop?
Yeah. Because it wasn't too bloody, and it's funny, and my dad likes it, and so we'd watch it, and I was like, hell yeah.
I don't think it was Kindergarten Cop for me. I think it might have been Junior, or it might have been... I think the first time I remember seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger on a poster and being like, that's a famous person, was Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Because him as Victor Fries, first of all, if he ever wanted to take the turn that some action stars do, where they want to make like their serious thing, like if he was coming up right now, like if he was David Bautista with that accent and that build, and they didn't use him as like a Mr. Freeze, it would be like I'd watch that right now, because he was not a great Mr. Freeze written in Batman and Robin, because Batman and Robin, not a great movie.
No.
But that was the first thing where I remember being like, oh, it's this guy. I know this guy. I remember Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
That was a perennial favorite around the household, where he's being Turbo Man and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. You've seen it twice, thrice.
Yeah. I remember my grandfather renting us The Last Action Hero and liking that.
Oh, hell yeah. That movie's great. Oh, yeah. But I've also seen his other stuff. I've seen Collateral Damage. I don't think anybody knows what that movie is. I've seen Eraser. I don't think anybody knows what that movie is. No. I've seen... a zombie movie that he's in with Abigail Breslin. Another movie that's a zombie movie. That's not Zombieland.
That's the last couple years, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of weird. It was fine, but it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I watch Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I don't know why. I always know that I'm going to watch a good movie when I watch him.
Yeah.
Have you seen Commando? Commando's kind of required watching.
I was going to say this. I've not seen Commando.
That one's a really good one.
I know all the cultural touchstones of it.
Yeah.
But...
You know, let off some steam, Bennett. You know, that stuff.
Yeah. That's kind of the distilled version of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
I've seen, Predator and stuff like that. So
I think that's the invention of quips before you kill somebody.
Yeah.
And that's like the best invention for an action movie ever.
They had a nice little montage of that.
Yes. That's the best line.
Well, I mean, he did it.
Do you have your favorite
masterfully in a Batman and Robin?
Yeah. What's your favorite quip of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
So I already know mine.
It's not a tumor?
No. That's a good one, though. Mine's from Total Recall.
Really?
Yeah. Where they're taking him to go get killed, and... the guy, Victor, that's taking them, they're like, we're having a party later after this, Victor, if you want to show up and stuff. He's like, all right. And then they fight on the elevator, and Schwarzenegger ends up ripping his arms off while he falls off the elevator, and he throws his arms to him, and he says, see you at the party, Victor. I was like, holy.
I remember seeing Batman and Robin in theaters, And I think it hit me at the perfect age where Mr. Freeze says, kick some ice. And I'm like, oh, he was,
he could have.
He didn't say the bad word.
He could have.
He might have. It was very similar. I know what he was trying to say. So you missed out on the politician part. You'll go back and watch it.
Yeah. Did they get spicy? Did they talk about the spicy stuff?
The fact that he came over here and married a Kennedy.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. But he was a charming dude when he was young.
He might be one of the most charming people ever made.
Yeah. You can see why you would want to be an actor, because he loves owning a room, and he's just really good at it. I was watching him as a bodybuilder and just seeing him talk to people. Yeah. It was like, wow, like he's so engaging. And
I think if he was born in America and didn't, because obviously in Austria, you don't have the same dreams. No one in Austria grows up of playing football, like American football. You know what I mean? Especially back in like the 40s or whatever. I think if he was coming up now, he probably could have like been the king of the WWE or something like that.
Yeah.
I think seeing him do that would have been great, because I did always think that people like Hulk Hogan, when he would do movies, like he was in Three Ninjas at Ninja Mountain or whatever it was, and you're just like, oh, he's kind of like a shittier version of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, because Arnold Schwarzenegger was actually
what
like
they were doing.
The movies. Exactly. Like you get the big muscly guy, but Arnold Schwarzenegger was actually.
They had Sylvester Stallone in there, and hearing about their.
He hates Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, they were like so mad at each other, and he's like, Sylvester pushed me to be a better actor.
Yeah,
So it was like by the end we were using cannons in our movies.
Okay, so it's only a guy that's been like first place in the world for over 50 years now that has that perfect level when he's talking about Sylvester Stallone or he's talking about anybody. Yeah. When it's the most subtle, perfect fuck you, where he's just like, oh yeah, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be as great as I am. Then you're just like, thank you, asshole.
Yeah. I think they're friends now. They have to be.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be. They're doing the Expendables. Yeah. But I just that smarmy nonsense. Be like, oh, thank you for making me the highest grossing action star of all time. All my movies wouldn't have done better than your movies. My movies would have been bad like you if it wasn't for you making me better. You piece of, I was throw mama from a train, you piece of shit.
That was Cobra.
It was that
piece of shit.
But yeah, I thought it was great, and I thought it was a fantastic. So
yeah, definitely.
Did you get the puff piece vibe from it, or was it just his charm overwhelms? Because Nolan Ryan is not Arnold Schwarzenegger when it comes to charming.
Yeah, right. Nolan Ryan is Southern.
Okay, that's not a nice way to say that. He's a pitcher. He wants
to just go home if he's not working. He wants to
throw the baseball and then go home.
Yes, that's the guy. And then you're talking to him. It's like, Nolan, you've been playing a while. He's like, yep.
Yeah.
You want to elaborate on that? Nah. Where Arnold, I love him already. No. I've watched so many of his movies.
It's been our whole lives, yeah.
And so it was good for me to see it just because I love the dude and I want to know more about him and I want to hear what he thinks about his life. So it was just great to hear all this stuff.
He does have a good elder statesman vibe where he's just like, I'll listen to this guy talk about pretty much anything. And then you see him like he's running around feeding the pigs and the donkeys. And he's like,
he's letting a donkey in his house. And I was like, hell yeah, that's what you do.
Shouldn't do that.
No, you absolutely let a donkey into the house.
Yeah, well, he could also probably pick up that donkey and throw
it right back out. Yeah.
I did like when he was showing, because they have like the B-roll footage of him like at his current age, like working out. He's like, and sometimes when you get older, you see your body and like, oh, that muscle doesn't. And you're just like, come on. You look pretty great for 75.
Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah.
And he's just, I don't know, he's still just as charming and just as engaging.
Wait till you see him as a politician.
He tells a great story.
He does.
So even he does an Italian accent doing Dino De Laurentiis.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy, like that's a really funny Italian accent.
Yeah. I think it's worth it for anybody to check out just for the behind the scenes stories and stuff. And it's, it's 3 1-hour parts.
Yeah.
You can watch one and then you can put it down for a little bit and everything like that. But it's a great documentary.
If it comes across your desk, try out Pumping Iron.
It will come across your desk if you look at Netflix, because that's where it is. Yeah.
Because it's a very good documentary.
Yeah.
And again, it's just young Arnold Schwarzenegger just being very...
Yeah.
I like that he brought it up. Because he's like, working out feels like coming. And I was like... He's just such a little bumpkin from another country. He's like, no, you sell it. He's like, I'm selling it. He's like,
and then you go up to Hyannisport and hang out with American royalty, the Kennedys.
Hell yeah!
Like, and I did like the behind the scenes stories of the first time he went up to their house in Cape Cod.
Yeah,
he's just wearing his tennis uniform.
Yeah.
And they
going to church.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the plot of Wedding Crashers. They take him to, and I was like, oh, that's probably where they stole that from. What really happened between the Kennedys and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they gave it to Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson.
But yeah, I'll be finishing up that
perfect
documentary.
Awesome,
definitely a 3.
I'm glad you like it. So before we get into what we're going to be getting into next week, I wanted to remind everybody listening so that you can hear this podcast on YouTube as well if you'd like, and you can click the subscribe button there, and that's awesome. Mm-hmm. You should do that. Even if you don't watch it on YouTube, click the subscribe button.
Yeah.
It's free.
Thank you.
Just do that. We won't bug you with too much stuff. Send your recommendations to upyouralleypod@gmail.com, and you can follow us on Instagram and Threads at upyouralleypod.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
Fucking Threads, man.
You're on Threads.
Yeah, we're threading it up. Couple threads out there. So, Jake, what do you got recommended for me next week?
So, we did music, and I want to do music again. Mm-hmm. And I want you to listen to Jim Bryson and the Weaker Thans. It's like the...
You have a Weaker Thans t-shirt, but I've never seen or heard that band, I don't think.
One of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
And this is like their last album before they disbanded.
Okay.
And it's with a guy named Jim Bryson, who I haven't heard of before until this album. And it's great.
When did it come out?
Years ago. Years and years ago.
Okay.
It's pretty old.
Just the album Jim Bryson and the Weaker Thans?
I can't remember what the album's called, but they only have one album.
Would this be the Falcon Lake Incident?
Yes, the Falcon Lake Incident.
Falcon Lake Incident, a 2010 album by Jim Bryson and the Weaker Thans on Spotify?
Yep, it's on Spotify.
Cool.
So you're not going to hear the lead singer of the Weaker Thans on this much. Okay. It's going to be Jim Bryson singing, but you'll hear the music of the Weaker Thans, and I think it's awesome.
Right.
I can't wait for you to hear.
I thought you were going to start a thing.
Wait, I want to take it back.
No.
I want you to watch Under the Skin.
No.
And knowing what you know now.
No. I thought you were going to start a thing. Like, all right, in my head, I had this thing where I'm like, he's trying to do a thing because I did All Laugh Like April.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Something's cooking.
Is he going to try to do a Scarlett Johansson thing? I thought you were going to do ScarJo Summer. That's what I was going to call it. And we were just going to ride out the summer with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, you want to watch Hackers?
No, I don't want to watch Hackers.
Oh, wait, that's Angelina Jolie.
It is.
Shit.
As well.
Damn it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's fine. It's not ScarJo Summer. Yeah. We don't have to worry about that.
Oh, don't worry. Something's cooking.
Unless I have something for you to watch on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Jacob, are you familiar with the film A Marriage Story?
A Marriage Story.
Starring Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, my God. You're doing a Scarlett Johansson thing.
No.
But yeah,
she's in that movie with Adam Driver.
Yeah,
who is in the 2023 film 65, which is now available on Netflix.
Oh yeah, you were very excited about this movie.
I am excited about this movie. I'm excited for you to watch this movie.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix now. Already. I was waiting for it to drop.
Yeah.
On streaming, it landed on Netflix perfectly.
Wow.
So Adam Driver is driving a spaceship. The spaceship crashes. Dinosaurs. Yeah. Adam Driver and dinosaurs.
Oh, shit. You know what we need to go see in theaters, though?
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny?
The Meg 2.
Oh, yeah. We got to see the Meg 2.
We have to see that in theaters.
Yeah.
The first Meg was absolutely wonderful.
That was a crazy movie.
That was a great time in the theater.
Yeah. So I already got my tickets for Oppenheimer.
I just worked out a date to go see Barbie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You're going Barbie over Oppenheimer?
Oh, 100%. It looks so much better. Like, so much better.
When are you... Because, you know, a lot of people are doing that, like a double
Barbie
feature. Yeah. When are you going to see
It's going to be Saturday, the 28th, I believe.
Oh, the 28th?
Yeah.
I'm going to see Oppenheimer the 24th. We can make that an episode. We can just talk about Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then we'll just say that I suggested you watch Oppenheimer, and then you suggested I watch Barbie.
Or fuck it. We could just
Or just fuck it.
So, I listen to a lot of podcasts. You don't. Yeah, we don't have to worry about it being an hour because we've got this new piece of equipment.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I was thinking, like, what would be a fun... Like, because eventually they're going to make, like, a podcast documentary someone's going to make it.
You sure?
About like the early days of podcasting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If they haven't
already. Yeah.
And it's a lot of comedians, and it just got me. I was trying to find online a copy of The Aristocrats, the documentary, The Aristocrats.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, it'd be kind of like that talking about podcasting because it'd just be all comedians that are doing it.
Big podcasters.
Yeah. So I was like, that should do that with like podcasting, but The Aristocrats. And I'm like, there is no, they'd be dumb to do that again. So on a lot of podcasts, they do Would You Rathers. Yeah. Like they have people write in Would You Rathers. I'm a big Would You Rather fan. Yeah. Have you ever come up with one yourself?
No. I listened to Comedy Bang Bang when they used to do Would You Rather.
Okay.
And those would be like, would you rather, drive a car but it's pizzas for wheels, or would you have to, every drink that you drank, a tiny little man was drowning in your cup?
Oh, Jesus.
And the game was, you have to ask questions about that stuff. He's like, the drinks that I'm drinking, is it just water? He's like, no, it's alcohol, and his name, and he's crying.
That's a lot like the Auntie Donna's most distressing show ever.
Yes.
Just that intense.
Just add more stuff.
I gotta check that out. So I was thinking about a Would You Rather.
Okay.
And I was thinking about something that you could ask a bunch of people and get their reactions to, because it has to be something that's personal, not overly offensive.
Okay.
But I want to pose this to you.
Okay.
So think about in your head the most disgusting person you know of. It doesn't have to be physically disgusting. It doesn't have to be someone you know personally. It could be a famous person who's just morally reprehensible. It could be someone that's just a gross, disgusting person. Whoever pops in your head. You don't have to say who it is, but just that to you.
Yeah.
Says nothing about you. That's not where the judgment is.
Okay.
So that's just your mindset.
Okay.
So that person, the most disgusting person in the world to you, would you rather, for 30 seconds, have that person's finger in your mouth or barefoot on your cheek?
A finger in the mouth, probably.
Over foot on the cheek?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. 30 seconds.
It's 30 seconds.
Both of them are 30 seconds?
It's foot on the cheek or finger in the mouth for 30 seconds.
What is it?
Both come with eye contact.
What is the foot on the cheek thing?
Some people are weird about feet, man.
I know.
Like, there are some people that don't like looking at people's feet. So I feel like some people will pick,
I'm fine
I'll
with
take a finger on the mouth.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But
foot,
it's also
just like right, you can't see because it's an audio medium. Jake, you can see.
Yeah.
So, like, their foot's like on your cheek.
Yes.
So, like, toes
like
up
the
by
ball of the foot.
Yeah, toes
is
up
on
by
your
your eyeball.
Yeah.
And then, like, the heel is, like, on your chin.
Yeah.
It's not in your mouth. It's not over your mouth. It's just on the side of your face.
Yeah.
Held there for 30 seconds.
Why couldn't this be the most beautiful person that I could think of?
Because that's not fun. Then it's both.
Yeah. Well, which one's yours?
I think I go foot on cheek.
See, now I think you're weird.
Why?
Because people have weird feet things.
People have weird finger things, too, and then that's in your mouth. It's in your mouth. And I said both of them come with eye contact.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably the foot thing, just because I don't have to worry about getting some type of sickness. Just
don't
a foot.
You know?
Don't you? I mean, you ingest something when it's in your mouth.
I guess that's true.
You're going to get something.
But then it also goes to whether your choice is someone that's like morally reprehensible or it could be someone that just grotesques you physically.
Yes.
Yeah. That would change it as well.
Yeah.
Because if it's someone that you just don't like because of who they are deep down inside as a person, you don't want that person's finger in your mouth.
I don't know if I want anybody's finger in my mouth.
And it's not like
they have to be very special to me.
But you have to. So you're going foot on face?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think I go foot on face.
I think this one has legs. It's like trying to come up with a knock knock joke. Trying to come up with a would you rather.
Knock knock.
Who's there? Are you trying to come up with one right now?
Banana.
Hold on, let me get the rim shot ready. Hold on.
Yes. Get over it. All right.
Go
Knock
for it.
knock.
All right, this is all completely spontaneous.
Yes. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Aren't you glad I didn't start this joke with a long build-up? You're very welcome.
I was waiting for you to finish it. All right, thank you for helping me with my would you rather.
Hey, I got another knock knock joke for you.
All right, go for it.
But you have to start.
Yeah,
You've done this one.
I have a child.
Damn it.
Yeah. I know
Damn
all
it.
these. I know the interrupting cow one as well.
That one's great.
All right. Are we done with this episode?
Yes. Good God, we
All
did.
right. So, yeah, thank you, everybody, for listening. Be sure to listen to The Falcon Lake Incident by
Jim Bryson
and The Weaker Thans, and watch 65 on Netflix, starring Adam Driver and some motherfucking dinosaurs.
Great. I want to watch this movie.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
It's good. You're going to have a lot to say about it.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Jake, thanks for coming out. Love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
See ya.
Bye-bye.